Hey everyone, welcome to FPL the Onion episode 52. Nick's on holiday this week, so joined by Tom. It's been a bit of a polar week for the both of us. Not so great for myself, but Tom, you've absolutely smashed it. How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah, no, it was a good week for me. Very pleased. I guess we'll get into it. I mean, yeah, it was one of them weeks. I think it was last night when goals started flying in, and you're just like, maybe it is my week. So that was nice.
Yeah, absolutely cracking week for you. Yeah, episode total suggests it wasn't good for all of us. Certainly, Nick didn't do too great. Plenty of hits flying around, wasn't it? And it was a pretty poor, boring week until the midweek games, and then 4-0 and 2-0 for assets that were pretty highly owned. Switched things around quite a bit. Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, yeah, I think it's one of I looked at my game week rank, and it was like, yeah, 600 and odd thousand, 650k game week rank, and you're like, I thought I had a better week than that, but it shows us how big some of the scores were, absolutely massive, and yeah, I'm glad I took only a -4, so I guess that was good in hindsight. But
Are you saying after breaking the 100 point, you don't know your game week rank off the top of your head?
I just looked it up, 656. There you go.
That's pretty good. And yeah, I mean, just to burst your bubble slightly, you've been what as high as 20k ish OR, but you're in well inside top 80k, is it? So yeah, having a great time at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. I think if I back to back greens with game week ranks in the 600 or 700 Ks, and that's kind of pulled me back from like 173 to 72. I think it is. So yeah, pretty good. I'm feeling good. About 100K is the target, so I'll take if I can keep the momentum, I might be able to push on a bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. So plan for tonight is a much shorter episode. For sure, my video is not normal because I just haven't bothered setting it up, and we've only got some minimal slides. But I'm just going to talk through some plans. Quite a focus on wildcard 26 because I think the temptation for both of us is to do that. But also talk about maybe some other ideas, but kind of more general rather than anything quantitative, which I'd rather have time to do, but I've not at all because life's been pretty busy this week, as it has for you, I know, Tom. So thanks for stepping in. We'll try and keep it short. Yeah, Thursday night we're recording, so doubles and blanks for 29, 28, and 32 were kind of cemented last night, wasn't it? And the surprise Southampton Spurs fixture going both against them meant that was an extra fixture for 28. So yeah, quite a lot of information coming in, quite an exciting time of the season. So yeah, FPL the Onion mini league situation. If you're listening and not in the league, please feel free to join. Code's on the screen there, TRLU7M. So no movers actually in the top 6, but your 105 for sure stands out pretty nicely there, Tom. Yeah, how are you feeling after that?
Yeah, it was good. I thought I might be able to get past Paddy Parr, but he or she just, picked me, stayed ahead at the end. But yeah, yeah, third place, good. I mean, yeah, just a massive scores in some of the other mini leagues. Was sort of 137 in one of the leagues we were in, and
Yeah.
as well. So I mean, crazy. But yeah, I saw a few people throwing the triple captain around on Saka, and yeah,
All right, I hadn't really seen many of those. Definitely seen a few free hits going. Craig and Ali there, whoever took me, did a free hit 81. Decent.
yeah,
Well, decent if his pre-team would have maybe got in the 60s, but I doubt he would have got in the 80s without it. But maybe. I'm just trying to see where Mark Bleatley's. I get what did he do? A -8 with an 87, so I guess he's done down with that. But yeah, a lot of hits flying around. And I just put in the live FPL readout of the top 5 on the right that just shows the number of hits. So a mix of 0 to -8. Pretty impressive that Bogdan and Ridzuan didn't do any hits. That's pretty cool. And quite a mixture of captains there. All of them came in, but yeah, Saka was the one. So another reason why you did so well, Tom.
yeah. I guess it was Saka or Salah. And I was feeling pretty good until Salah scored at the end, but I think I still went up in rank even after the Salah goal, even though yeah, I guess I didn't captain him, but Saka marginally pipped him, so it was still I still cheered the goal nonetheless.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was well happy with that. And Darwin before that, was it? Was it that cancelled the disallowed one, or after? That was really annoying.
Yeah, Darwin. That is obviously one of the things that didn't go well this week. But on balance, again, I'll take it. But yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah, no, there was definitely some pros and cons almost for everybody. I mean, well, we'll come to yours in a minute. You had an amazing differential asset, although you're probably thinking, oh, if only I had a Liverpool defender, because they all came in. But yeah, people with Robertson definitely unlucky, but some people went Van Dijk. What a massive swing there.
Yeah, was he 24 points something, was he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Two goals, 2 clean sheets. Is that max bonus? No, wouldn't have been. Yeah. 104th is Mark Bleakley, so falling, if you can call it that, but up in that top 100 or something, it's going to be very volatile, isn't it?
Yeah, still pretty good.
Yeah, amazing. Keep it up, Mark. Yeah, -8 was Salah captain, so without looking at his team, it's tricky to know whether that would have been net loss or not. He had McNeil, so I guess he brought him in. He had Bueno, bit unlucky with that, although 2 starts was good, wasn't it? Darwin, so unlucky there. Nketiah, what a pain he's been. Trent, and Salah captain. Mahrez with a 1-pointer, so a bit of a mix. Right, so this would be pretty good to look at. I mean, yeah, Solanke, Martinelli, some pretty big names in there for this week that just came through for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, the Slanky one, I didn't expect anything. So to get a cheeky assist, great. Yeah, Martinelli was fantastic, obviously, for me. He's been someone I've been trying to get rid of for a while, but just never really found the time to switch to Odegaard. So kept him, and obviously that was great. And Ben White turning up with 13, brilliant. I know he's very well owned, but it's still taking. But I mean, yeah, it's quite polarizing week where there's a lot of blanks, but also some massive scores. So yeah, overall pretty good. Yeah, Bueno is annoying. Just I mean, I didn't expect much again, but you get 2 starts, you think yes, and then then he's got off injured as well. That's annoying for future weeks. So and Darwin we've talked about. So yeah, I mean, pretty good. Tarkovsky with a 0. I mean, that's maybe we should have seen that coming. Everyone's like, "Get me for the double," then got a bagel.
I was just looking. So you got him in last week for Akanji, which in hindsight not great, but I'm just trying to see how you've kept Martinelli. So what, him to Odegaard was always a tempter, but what, you didn't have the money, or just had something else to do?
Yeah, exactly. It was just unless you got a free transfer, I was just like, I think I didn't have the money a couple of weeks ago, and then now I've got the money. And then I didn't have a free transfer. Yeah, because I think I did Tarkovsky in 2 weeks ago, and he got the 8-pointer, so he was good for the 8 points. And then he
Okay.
got 0.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you started him when many people benched him, so yeah, you're up on that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. Just never found the time, and then obviously Martinelli maybe come back in to flavour of the month, so maybe you should keep him.
Yeah. What to do with him going forward if we weren't thinking of pressing a certain button is interesting. But yeah, I mean, fair play for holding your nerve there. I mean, were you at all tempted just to do it because everyone was slinging the hits around, and what's -8 between friends? That wouldn't have. You'd said you had the money.
Yeah, I didn't really want to go for a big hit. I looked a few -8s, -12s. I just didn't think I'd get the payoff. I think I had 2 frees last week, did I? So I did 3 transfers for a
Yeah,
-4.
yeah,
So I was happy with that. I thought, but yeah, Liverpool defender obviously in hindsight would have been worth it. That's probably the only thing that was worth it. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had -12 on the screen there. Oh no, sorry, it's not even -8, it's -4. I've got it right in the green, but not at the top. Yeah, so 101 net. Amazing week. Tarkovsky with the 0, and in hindsight, Ward over Kepa for another point, but otherwise you nailed it, didn't you? Very good. Right, myself, sorry, that's why I've got our hits the wrong way around. I'm on a -12, so 87 -12. Red arrow for me by 100k, pretty much on the nose, 398 to 498k. But it was partly a good -12 and partly not. The -4 part of it, which was the Salah in, Trent in, and McNeil in part, worked out quite well. That was all up quite a lot. And then towards the end of the week, what was it, when it was on the Friday and Mitrovic was being chatted about as probably not playing. I don't think there was any major extra news, but just got a bit touchy, just a bit cold feet with him. And Darwin FOMO was coming through at the time, seemed like a good idea. A double versus probably Mitrovic, who wouldn't play, but to afford that, had to do Edison, who probably a bit emotional, was just so annoyed with him, wanted to get rid, and thought Pickford with a double, what a no-brainer. And at the time, that was partly a 28 blank transfer as well, because Pickford had a game and Edison didn't. So that -8 initial, on top of the -4, did not come out well. But in the end, a net gain of 20, which until last night was not looking that good at all, but ended up being quite well. So had I not done that, it would have been a disaster. I think this happened last season, similarly, where I took quite a big gamble and it was good, but had I not done that, it would have been really, really bad.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and with Everton, you think, oh, yeah, double Everton defence, that could be massive if they'd have done something, but they did obviously nothing. But that could have been a real swinger. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the Darwin thing, I think I did him on the Thursday, was it last week? I can't remember, but I was pretty keen to get him in. I don't know why. I did this every time. I think it's the third time this season I bought him in and he's done nothing. So
I know, what a nightmare. But he was looked all right in the Real game. Obviously, that didn't go well eventually, but yeah, then the shoulder thing. And who was the other person? Oh, Nketiah, of course. Yeah, just sort of being kept from news by managers, really frustrating.
yeah, that came out of the blue, didn't he? Getting benched in both, wasn't he? I mean, I didn't think that would have come off, but yeah, it's really unlucky.
Yeah. Overly celebrated the assist from Nketiah, but really it's quite sad. Like 2 1 appearance points and then 3 when you got all the rest of the assets smashing it. That was pretty annoying.
Yeah, definitely.
So then the only other 2 slides I've got is the ticker, which I've hopefully updated correctly, and just the attack one, and then a bit of wildcard 26 template chat. But just quickly on here then, for those that don't know, this is pretty set now from now until game week 33. I haven't put the 34 double in, but we've got double in 27, which was already there, a blank in 28, and the teams of which are now known, a double in 29. The teams of that haven't changed, I don't think, in the last week. 32 blank is now a lot more known, where there's not as many teams blanking. I've got 4 in black there and 2 in orange. I don't think any of those are confirmed, but some of them are like 1% chance of going ahead. So the black ones, I think, are less than 25% on this colouring. And then 34 and 37 are the only kind of big doublers that are happening the rest of the season. But 29 is the biggest double, and I haven't got the other ticker near me, but is it 28 that is the biggest blank as well? Anyway, but I think most things are going to happen soon. So, I mean, what's your immediate thoughts on the change since last week, Tom?
Yeah, I think I was probably 10% wild card in last week, but I think the Liverpool game, having 2 Liverpool players, it just pushes, and Bueno going off injured, just kind of pushes me towards the wild card, just because, yeah, I think I looked it up, and if I do wild card, I can get an extra 7 doublers, in 27 and 29 combined. So I'd basically get, if I do wild card, I get 7 extra games. Okay, yeah, you got to look at the teams you're getting doubles from, but yeah, it kind of swings it a little bit. Even things like having in 28 now, Spurs have got a fixture. I can get Kane in. I can do the Kane, Haaland, Koki, and captain maybe in 28 or something, like in that blank, which I think could be interesting against Southampton. So
Right,
yeah,
Koki with the big guns up front.
I mean Haaland, yeah, I'd lose 0.4 on him, but just buy him. I mean, I think this thing is the money is no object at the moment, isn't it? I mean, I did the wildcard team and I had 7 million in the bank or something ridiculous.
Yeah, you wouldn't consider going both then? You don't probably haven't got the money to do that.
I've got the money, but
You'd be losing a Watkins or a Tony, I guess.
Yeah, and I want them in 29 for bench boost. So I want both Tony and Watkins. But I could do the Haaland out, Kane in, Haaland back, and then maybe Haaland back in if I want it for 28, 29. Hokey cokey.
Right. Okay.
which I'm thinking maybe is interesting.
I'm sorry, so you'd be having Kane now or Haaland now?
So I'd keep Haaland.
Okay.
And then I'd go Kane in 28 and then back to Haaland in 29, although they've got Liverpool, but I probably wouldn't risk not having Haaland. And then maybe, then after in like 30 or whatever, I'd look at getting Kane and Haaland, maybe.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, I suppose the downside of that is that the 29 bench boost is a bit of a risk, isn't it? Because it's after the international break, so you're locking your transfers in and a bit less reactive to injuries. But yeah, that's...
Yeah, but then, you can say, right, I'll take a -4. If I have to take a -4, then I'll just take the -4.
Yeah.
I mean, so at the moment, give you like I'd have 13 doublers in the bench boost and 29. I think I only field 10 in 28, which it's funny if I don't make any if I don't make it to I don't wildcard and I just make my transfers, I basically will field an 11 in 28. But if I wildcard, I'll only probably field 10.
Yeah.
And
so
then
although you're gaining 7, was it you said in 29? 7
you
players, you lose 1. But is the 7, sorry, including if you made transfers on your current team, or is that just if you were to?
No, that's including transfers.
Oh wow, okay. So if you kept your current team and made transfers with a view of what's happening in the future, you'd still gain 7 players on your wildcard.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I don't have any Brentford or Brighton.
Yeah, okay.
So basically all them, and then I think it's not just that. There's also I've got Bueno, Solanke, and McNeil, which are not great assets. So the wildcard gives me opportunities to ditch them. Or maybe Darwin as well already. They probably bang now if I get rid of him, but I guess they got Bournemouth in 27, which is nice. But I don't know. I feel like I need a little bit. It sounds crazy after 101 net week, but I feel like I need to reset in a couple of areas. So,
well, that's what makes me quite reassuring that it's the right thing to do, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, people are jumping on this, and where's this come from?" But after a great week, you still think it's the right thing to do. And I don't know, this whole team dependent thing, just going about on Twitter quite a bit, is probably true, but maybe we're in our own little bubble here with no Brighton, no Brentford, but a lot of people do have those. So I think if you have got quite a few, it's probably quite a tricky calculation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think that just that Liverpool game now not going ahead in 28, that there's two players that makes a difference to me. I think whereas before I'd maybe would taken a couple of hits and just boshed through that, but now I'm like, well, actually, I'm gonna have to take quite a lot of hits to get there, and then I'll probably still have less doublers. I think the only drawback is I'll probably have to free hit 32. I reckon if I do wildcard, I think 32 is a bit of a tricky one to get around. Or maybe you could do a -8 or something instead, but I'm a bit worried that basically will mean I have to free hit 32, and then I've got nothing left for the rest of the season, basically.
Yeah, I think that'd be okay. That's the last big blank, isn't it? And Brighton are likely to blank, and City, so that takes out probably 4 players.
Yeah, exactly. I guess it just means you can't then free hit the double in 34 or 37.
Yeah,
which might be quite nice if it was City and United both. You could absolutely load up on them, but I guess by then, that's you got 4-5 free transfers to get those back in. Although if they blank in 32, then I guess free hit doesn't matter, right? So I could bring them back in and free hit 32, and then hopefully navigate that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I was probably about 90% on the wildcard now to do it.
Right, I was going to say, and be press the button yet.
I haven't.
Do that after. I mean, is the Brighton press conference tomorrow kind of important? Is that what you're waiting for, or?
Yeah, I think I probably won't do it till at least tomorrow night, just because I've got a bit of time to digest and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I've looked at a few of the scenarios. Yeah, I'm trying to work out how to get 11, how to field 11 in 28 and not reduce my doublers in 27 or 29. I just can't quite work it out. So that's I might just my head scratch and see if I've missed a trick there, but I don't think so.
Nice. Yeah, and the fact we were saying before, coming on as the Saturday deadline is a bit of a godsend, because if it was tomorrow, as it has been quite a lot recently, a Friday deadline would be a bit of a killer.
Yeah, definitely. Glad about that.
Okay, last slide then. I'll just knot this together. Having seen a few teams on Twitter, 26 templates, maybe just comment on some of these. 2-3 Brighton, 2-3 Brentford. I mean, probably erring on 3, but it's quite tricky to pick those assets, isn't it?
Yeah, I've currently got 3 of each in my wildcard draft that I drew up. But yeah, I mean, I think Brentford is easier because obviously I've got Tony Raya and Ben Mee in there at the moment. Or that could be, I guess you could have Henry or something.
Yeah.
But I think they're fairly easy to pick, and obviously because they've got a game in 28, you're definitely gonna have 3 Brentford if you're wildcarding. So
Yeah.
Brighton, I think is a struggle, isn't it? That is.
Yeah, they blank, so they've got to consider that.
Yeah, and I think the picking. I mean, if you go for like someone like I've seen people put Sanchez and you obviously got Estupinian or whatever his name is. But yeah, where do you go for McAllister, March, Matoma?
Matoma, 2 of those probably, but yeah, you could easily pick the wrong one.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, Estupinian's got this injury, possibly. Dunk's nail, but kind of boring. Sanchez as well, maybe.
Yeah, I quite like the Kepa Raya combo.
Yeah, I see a lot of people with that. I guess what that covers you for 28 because you've got Kepa with a good fixture. They got Everton.
Yeah, and
It's
you've got the 2 doubles in 29.
2 doubles. Yeah, I mean, my immediate thought would just be keep Ward because you're going to have I know money's not a massive option at the moment, but you're right. City and United might double in 34 and 37. So are we going to want suddenly by then KDB, Haaland, Fernandes? Might be quite tough to fit them in. So Ward, I don't know, strikes me as a bit of a no-brainer, but he's not as good a keeper, is he? And maybe just for 0.5, it's worth carrying that for the rest of the season. But do you know what I mean? 9 games with carrying a 0.5 extra on your bench.
Yeah, true. And their double in 29 is Palace and Villa in it, so that's not a bad double.
Yeah,
Better than Chelsea. So you've got Villa, Liverpool. So although they're both at home, so I don't know. I thought that Kepa's more likely to have a double, isn't he, later in the season? But it's going to be a difficult double, isn't it? Because it's like, yeah, Man United is it coming in somewhere? So
that's right.
from
Yeah,
what I've seen,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe I need to
Maybe
give
it
that a bit more
partly
thought.
depends how those 2 teams rotate. Very quickly looking at it, it looks like they do home and away rotate those, so that at least up to 34. So that's kind of handy. But
Yeah. I think I've seen Kepa and Sanchez as well. People have put out there, and as well as been apparently good rotation. But yeah, I think it'll be definitely 2 of those 3 keepers basically.
yeah, 3 Arsenal, no brainer. They obviously don't blank. I mean, how do you feel about 3 of those given 28 is only a single and 29 is only a single? You're probably going to bench boost with just whatever Arsenal you got, and that's that.
Yeah, so my current plan is basically that I probably start transferring them out basically. So
Right.
I mean I have thought about just having 2, just going Saka and a
Martinelli
defender.
captain.
Well, that's the problem now. I'm like, do I get rid of Martinelli? I guess that's the issue I've got is that do I drop Martinelli? Do I get Odegaard? I mean, obviously the problem, that next fixture is really juicy. Bournemouth at home and then Fulham away and then Palace. I mean, they're good fixtures, aren't they? And Saka's definitely a keep regardless. Obviously, if I get a defender in, I can always switch the defender to Luke Shaw or United or someone in 29 for their double, and then I can always buy them back later because So I'm not too worried about the defender, but yeah, the double midfield. It's tricky. Like I quite fancy like James Maddison or someone in maybe instead of Odegaard, but that's a bit tricky to decide to go only to Arsenal. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Liverpool away in 30 for Arsenal. I suppose that is a good time to jump off, maybe 1 or 2 assets. But yeah, I'm not worried about if they're on form. I'm happy to play Leeds at home. Excuse me, on the bench. Yeah, I've seen some people bench boosting with maybe a double keeper and then Saka, Erdegaard, and Haaland or something like that would be pretty fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I know people like doubles on the bench for bench boosts. Fair enough.
I've got a plan to get another doubler in, but yeah, it's whether if Arsenal if Arsenal steamroller, I should probably start with 3, and then if they keep steamrolling people, I'll probably just stick with 3 or go down to 2 for the not to 29.
Yeah. Okay. And Rashford going with as well for sure. For certain.
Yeah, Rashford's in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And what about any other cheeky differentials you got in your mind? So Maddison, you mentioned.
I've got nothing. That's really quite disappointing, isn't it? But yeah, Maddison, I do quite fancy Maddison. Although Leicester went a little bit off the ball, haven't they, the last week or two? But yeah, I don't know. Their fixtures are quite nice, aren't they? And they've got Palace Villa in the double. Southampton this week.
Yeah. So did you? It sounds like you've done a lot more planning than me in terms of putting a 15 together. Did you almost put in template players and then found yourself with a midfield slot free, or have you sacrificed someone there to get Maddison at the moment?
No, yeah, it'd basically be Maddison or Odegaard probably.
Right. Okay.
Unless I just say I'm only going to Brighton, which I've thought about as well, and just accepting the 5 doublers in 27 or something, and just having and then playing a Maddison and Odegaard and not having Solly March, for example, which is probably maybe a better idea. I don't know. It sounds when you say it out loud, you think maybe who do you rather have, Odegaard, James Maddison, or Solly March?
Yeah, those doubles they're tricky to ignore.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so maybe I'm talking myself into both Maddison and Odegaard, and yeah, but I think Saka's in, Rashford's in. It's 3 other mids, isn't it? Hopefully with lots of doubles.
Okay, and are you on Matoma or McAllister or neither?
I've got Matoma, but I don't know. That's the thing that's worrying me. I'm like, I've seen a lot of chat about McAllister.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I mean, what's the chat that Matoma's playing a bit more out wide, and obviously he's had the hauls recently, but McAllister might play further forward.
Yeah, he's
March might have a knock.
Playing number 10 or whatever, basically, isn't he?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's quite tricky. And obviously, Chapinian with his injury, that press conference tomorrow hopefully says some stuff. Is there any way then that 90% would come down enough for you not to do it? You do it maybe just with a bit more risk-free players. You might say go Dunk and.
Yeah, exactly. I think. Yeah, you're right. Just go. Yeah, rather than stupid and go to Dunk. Maybe I wouldn't have double Brighton midfield. I'd just go single, like I just said, and have Odegaard. So maybe except you have 1 or 2 less doublers. Although then my famous 7 more doublers is kind of now if it's 5 more doublers, when does it become less? But I think because of the other issues in my team, I'm kind of come to the realization I need to take quite a lot of hits otherwise. So I guess it's not only that, it's also just not taking hits. So, or I could take a hit in 29 to get another one if I wanted one anyway. So I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm probably 80%. My worry with it though is that I was probably 0% last week. I just did not consider it. But and you were saying you were about 10-20%. Did you actually think it might be the week to do it this week if some cup results went that way?
Well, it was just basically I knew that if Liverpool didn't play, if a couple of results went that way, I knew I'd only have like 6 or 7 players.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've got more than 6 or 7 players, but the 6 or 7 players you actually want to play.
Yeah.
And then things like the Bueno injury and stuff like that. So it's really just the fact that I know I've now got to take, to get a decent team out in 27, 28, 29, I've probably got to take 3 or 4 hits probably.
Yeah. But then I suppose the slight counter to that as well is playing devil's advocate that there's a lot of other ways to play the next 5 fixtures than wildcard in 26. I think a lot of people thinking 27 is maybe better because you can wait an extra week. Some people doing some pretty mad stuff, like maybe free hitting in 28 and then wildcarding in 29, or wildcarding in 28 and bench boost 29. So there's quite a few options.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of swing factors for me, like Man U versus Liverpool this week. You and I probably got 4 assets from that, or 3 or 4, and that's a bit annoying them playing each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the Deadwood, like you said, the Buenos and the Neils, who are just quite annoying. I mean, I've got our teams to show, but yeah, quite a few benching headaches this week, so that would help a little bit. And doing it this week gives an extra transfer role to deal with all the stuff you talked about, either a hokey cokey or moving a few people around for a good bench boost in 29.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, I'm just looking at my team. Yeah, the fixtures aren't great this week for quite a lot of players. Arsenal aside, you've obviously got Bournemouth and things like that. But and then I guess I think I'll probably bring in double Newcastle on the wild card, and like they cave. But I've already got Trippier, who so that doesn't really make a difference, and I'll just bench the other one if that makes if I need to. So I'm kind of not too worried about that one. Yeah, so I think for me, I'm tempted to go now, and then you're right, just try and hang on till 29, hoping I don't get any injuries.
Yeah, cool. Okay, should we leave it there?
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice. Well, yeah, thanks again, Tom, for coming on shortish notice, and nice short one. And yeah, congrats on your week. Hopefully we'll keep the trajectory up. Need to fill out the older the graph soon that's got you going pretty high on the ranks, and yeah, Tom, other Tommy and Nick struggling a little bit, but chips in play could all get quite exciting.
In there, well, invite me on next week. Every time I come on here, I seem to have a good week. So
Yeah, that was the one reason I'm sure you were happy-ish to come on. No, thanks again.
No worries.
Thanks everyone for listening. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and good luck if you're playing chips like we probably are, and see you next week. Bye.
Thanks all. Bye.